Have you seen those crazy ChatGPT images that are going viral all over your feeds? So I'm about to reveal the exact system that's behind them. I'm going to show you how to use Alphana to actually supercharge those ChatGPT's new image generator, the workflow that's actually producing those Studio Ghibli masterpieces and other insane styles that everyone right now is super obsessed with. So forget spending hours perfecting prompts, because with my method, you'll create stunning visuals in seconds that would normally take professionals all day. And so the best part, this actually works with a completely free version of ChatGPT. And so whether you need YouTube thumbnails, infographics, blog headers, ads, this really changes everything. So first, I'm going to show you what's possible. And I'm going to dive in, share my screen, and we're going to show a couple samples from Twitter while we get a project started inside of Alphana. Before we get started, I just want to pull in a couple examples, okay? So if you haven't heard of the new image generator, it can do such incredible things that it couldn't do before. And so the ones that's been going viral has been the new Ghibli Studio style. So I wanted to pull up a couple viral posts that went on Twitter. And so here's one from Tebow that I follow on X. And you'll see here, if I click on these, look at some of the images it generates. I mean, in this case, you can upload any image with you, your kid, or anything out there and generate these style images. And it literally happens within a minute or two. Here's another style that's more like a cartoon kind of 3D character style, I would say, or anime. Here's the 3D version of it. So you get to see the 3D character version of that exact photo. And then check this out, right? Using the Minecraft style photo. All of this came from generating inside of ChatGPT, right? A couple others they got in here, you could just kind of scroll through the feed, right? You don't always have to input an image. You can actually just use a prompt and explain. And so this one was, for example, like Yellow by Coldplay visualized in ChatGPT, and this is what it came up with, right? The other one is even like doing infographics. I mean, imagine you take a document, something written up, which again, we could produce something like that in ChatGPT, and it automatically turns it into like more infographic style image that you can actually use to publish and put online. And so these are just a couple of the use cases. We've got others that are using for real estate. You upload an image for sale sign, and then now you can have it generate more for sale signs in other variations. So this is great for real estate. Even if you want to take your image and in this case, this prompt right here is literally turning your photo into a sculpture. And so if you ever wanted to see what you would look like in a sculpture, you can do that here as well. And last but not least, this one from Andrew Sarami created this ad all here, and this was all generated in ChatGPT. So if you don't know why this is crazy right now, like text generation is nearly perfect inside of ChatGPT. This is all being done within the AI model. This isn't using some third-party software like Canva or something to have to edit and make your creatives. Like it produces all of this in one shot. And that's what the beauty of it. And so that's why in this session, you probably don't know how to use this or what kind of prompts to prompt it with or some ideas of some of the content you can create. And so we're going to now take Alphana and to leverage that to be able to grab content themes, ideas coming out of videos, YouTube videos, podcasts, right? Webinar videos. And from there, we're going to generate prompts that now you could use inside of ChatGPT to do exactly just that. What am I going to do first? So I have a couple sample projects of what we've done in Alphana, and I'm going to show you some of those use cases while we actually come in and generate a project to have that one ready for us as well. So if you haven't been in Alphana, for some of you that are new, that are joining, in Alphana, we could turn any video or audio into over 30 pieces of content. Today, the content that we're going to focus on is generating unique prompts based on your video, your podcast, your webinar, so that you could use those prompts to generate more visual images. And so the first thing we're going to do is actually click create. So if you want to generate some prompts and images all within ChatGPT, first come into Alphana. You're going to come over here and you can actually add a YouTube video, or you can upload your own video from your device or Google Drive, Dropbox, etc. In my case, I'm going to grab a YouTube video and I'm going to pop that inside of Alphana. And this video is about our topic today, everything new with ChatGPT. So I'm going to go ahead and hit import so that we could start pulling in that video, transcribing it, so that then we could start generating content with it. Awesome. So now while that's loading and pulling in content from YouTube, I'm going to open up a project that we generated earlier, and this is of another video, unboxing lost mail, hidden treasures, or costly scams. And so we use this video to see what kind of prompts and what kind of images we can take from Alphana and generate inside of ChatGPT. So while here we're importing, which look at that, it already imported. So I'm just going to go ahead and let the project generate. I'm going to select a card in this case, actually a template. And I'm just going to generate the transcript so that we could start from scratch. Okay. So we'll come up and scroll through our library of templates. You could do everything from video clips, LinkedIn post, YouTube workflow. We've got a ton of different options in here, but the one that I'm really focused on is going to be our transcript generator that's here. So I'm going to go ahead in here. I'm going to click transcript generator and I'll hit next. I'm not going to edit the transcript and I'll just let that run. Perfect. The reason we're creating that project is so that we can use it to add more, so we can create more prompts and cards from it. So we're going to let that run there in the background. All right. So now back to some examples that we've already done, right? So in here, we've got a couple options, right? So this is a project. After a video gets uploaded to Alphana, we actually can generate a bunch of content all at once. In this case, in this template, we had different prompts that we could create in Alphana. One of them being an advertisement. So if you wanted to create an ad based on the concepts or what was discussed in the video, we can use this card. Now, imagine, let's say you uploaded a video that's talking about your product, or perhaps you created a voice note on your phone and you uploaded that into Alphana. And now from your voice note of ideas, you wanted to generate content and you wanted to generate an ad based on it. You could select the advertisement card. And in this case, what it does is it outlines exactly what the ad should have, right? It talks about how the scene should be set up. It actually generates what the foreground should look like, the background, the lighting, the typography. So, you know, what text and headline should be inside of the product. In this case, it's telling it, hey, I want you to add a QR code. And in this case, this is talking about Shopify's free trial. So inside of the video, they start talking about Shopify, creating your store, unpacking boxes, all these different things, right? So all the concepts, and what's cool is that it already pulled out the insights needed from that in order to put it in here. It even talks about the color palette, the target audience of who the ad is for, and its purpose. So to come up with a prompt like this could have taken somebody over an hour or hours if somebody just contemplates so many times. Just from taking either a video, a podcast, or a voice note, a product video, throwing that into Alphana, you could automatically generate prompts that are very detailed in order to generate images in. Now, what's cool is after we took this prompt, I'm going to show you an example of an image that was generated using it. And here it is. This came straight from ChatGPT using the prompt that came from Alphana. How cool is that? And look at this, Shopify, powering small businesses everywhere. Sell online, in person, and across social platforms. No tech skills needed. Customize your store your way. I mean, very simple ad. The style of it, you've got storefronts in the background showing that people can create their shops. It's social media ready. You could sell in person or online. 175 countries served. Such a great ad. This all produced directly inside of ChatGPT based on prompts and insights that came from Alphana. So you could imagine the endless ideas of different types of products. It doesn't have to be e-commerce. It could be clothing. It could be fashion. It could be a coaching, a course. It could be ads for anything that you that is related to who your niche and your industry is. So let's take a look at a second one. I believe, let's try to look at movie poster. So we got different ones, Polaroid images, podcast covers, YouTube thumbnails. The one that I want to take a look at is a movie poster. Have you ever thought about like, hey, what would this podcast or video or my webinar or our company meeting, whatever video or audio that you're uploading into Alphana, what would that look like if it was visualized into a movie poster, right? And again, Alphana would take all of those concepts and themes and generate a full prompt. And so I'm going to read this prompt to you so that you can see how it influenced the image that it's going to generate before I show you the image. All right. In this case, it told us to tell ChatGPT, create a dramatic and visually captivating movie poster inspired by the themes of mystery and unexpected discoveries. The central focus is a large, mysterious cargo box surrounded by scattered items like shimmering jewelry, colorful LED candles, and a dark fantasy palette. The box is partially open, emitting an eerie, glowing light in hues of neon blue and gold, casting dramatic shadows. In the background, a dimly lit warehouse with towering shelves fades into darkness, adding depth and intrigue. The color palette emphasizes contrast between cool blues, warm golds, and deep shadows. Use cinematic high contrast lighting with a slight mist effect to enhance the atmosphere of suspense. Place the movie title Lost Cargo Chronicles in bold, metallic lettering at the top center with a subtle glow. Below the title, add the tagline, "Every package has a story," in smaller italicized text. Position the cast and credits at the bottom in a clean, minimalistic font, ensuring they don't overpower the visuals. Okay, so I just read to you the prompt to generate a movie poster. How cool was that? I mean, look how descriptive this is. Unless you're a writer or storyteller and you're so good at writing exactly how you want a particular image or visual or movie poster to look like, I mean, this isn't something that you can just piece together on your own. Sure, you can go in and say, hey, here's the title of my, podcast. Please create an image, and you will get a result, right? In this case, we're going very specific on results, leveraging insights and themes based on the video content. And so that's how this was derived from. And so check out how this ended up looking like. Lost Cargo Chronicles. Every package has a story. I mean, doesn't this feel mysterious? You kind of see the package right there in the middle. It's very dark. It kind of entices you like, wow, I want to watch this, right? Just imagine if you turned your podcast or a webinar or some fun theme into a movie poster, right? What would it look like? And so this kind of shows you a nice example. And you could see it's got the package, you got the background, the foreground, the lighting. Every package has a story, the candles. I mean, look at all the little details. Very nice and clean. And again, what's beautiful about this is the text. Like, look how crisp the font is, right? Not only that, but it wrote it with perfect. There's no misspellings at all. And if you guys remember, or if you've ever used ChatGPT to generate images in the past using DALL-E 3, those images always had misspellings. It would try to do text, but it never got it right. Now the new ChatGPT image generation gets it right and allows you to create stuff like this. Does it come that descriptive all the time? Yeah, so it depends on the prompt. So in some of our prompts, yes, it comes that descriptive. So inside of Alphana, some of these will create it. But for example, we have versions that we'll be putting out as well that might do even shorter versions of these, right? Like if I scroll through these, I'm trying to find we have some like in this example where we might even leave placeholders, right? So for example, in some things that you create, you might want to add like your brand colors. So we'll put like a placeholder there. That's a perfect opportunity when you copy and paste this into ChatGPT that you actually put your brand colors inside of here so that it knows what colors to use when generating an image. So another one that I thought was a fun one, right? So again, if I took a video and I wanted to generate some prompts to create images, what if we created a Polaroid image, right? Like, I think something like that would be pretty cool. I won't read the full prompt, but I'll just give you an example, right? It says, create a nostalgic Polaroid style image capturing a candid moment between two friends as they unpack a series of mysterious and quirky items from packages, laughing and expressing surprise. Again, that's what this video is about, right? You've got two friends. I know you guys haven't watched it, but they got deliveries. It's all about packages. They're unpacking boxes with a bunch of stuff inside of it that they've bought. And whatever. So you kind of come in here and they're going through this whole motion, right? And so if we were to create a Polaroid image, here's what it looks like. Realistic, two people unpacking packages. It's nostalgic. It's kind of showing these items. I mean, look how cool this is, right? All from one prompt generated, you can create an asset that looks something like this. And what's cool is that an image like this could be used for so many things. You can use it inside of an Instagram post, or you can use it to post in your community. You can use something like this for blog post headers, right? It all depends. You can throw this into an email. There's so many use cases for using these images here. One of the last ones that I'll show that was generated, and then we'll try to generate one here too with you guys on the stream, is a podcast cover. Obviously, podcasts generally have you create your covers and then you put it out, right? And you put out your podcast. But let's say you're thinking about a redesign of your podcast. You created an episode and you're like, wow, this episode really embodies what we're trying to go for. And here you go, drop in that episode inside of here. And now it'll generate in this case, a sleek modern podcast cover in a specific style, which we would enter later, that embodies a playful and vibrant tone. The design should reflect themes of discovery, fun, and curiosity as seen in the lively discussions about unique finds and unexpected surprises. And then it goes in detail about what it should be. And it left placeholders for us to put when we're generating the image, right? Now, one trick that I would suggest, right, if you all know, inside of Alphana, you could set up custom instructions, right? So I have custom instructions to tell it how to write, the tone, words to avoid. I put links to my social media profiles, and I tell it, when it misspells Alphana, I want the correct way for it to be spelled, right? You could also put in there like, okay, well, what are other things you can put in your global instructions so that every time you create a project, our AI remembers that about you, right? Things could be, for example, the podcast name. If you have a tagline, if you have brand colors and you know what those colors are, put that inside of your custom instructions so that going forward, anytime that you generate these prompts and it requires knowing your style or your color palettes or titles, it would automatically fill it in for you. So you only do it once. And then now that process, you don't ever have to do it again because it's inside of your custom instructions, right? And I think we all want to automate as many pieces of our workflows that we can on a day-to-day basis. I don't think we want to repetitively have to re-enter things over and over and over again. Now, if you've ever talked about your brand style and guidelines with ChatGPT, maybe it'll remember it and it'll take it. But again, in this case, put it into your style and these prompts will always remember it. That's also another trick is if you say, hey, you always want your designs to come out in a specific style, like I want it in a 3D style, I always want it to look a Polaroid style or whatever it is, you could also put that in your custom instructions. So then all these image prompts could automatically take that in too, right? And so that's a cool way to try to get consistency on your images before you go into ChatGPT to create them. So what does this podcast cover look like after we generated the prompt inside of Alphana? And here we go. All right. So based on that prompt I generated, it's called Unboxing Lost Mail, Hidden Treasures or Costly Scams. Or I should have probably read that as a question mark. But look how cool this is, right? This created one example of a podcast cover. And again, you could always refine if you want different style, color palette. This is just what it pulled based on the context that it had. And so these are just easy ways to be able to create content, podcast covers, posters, assets, anything that you need on a visual basis by combining the power of what you can do in Alphana to pull from video and the power of ChatGPT's new image generation. First things first, I pulled in this video. This is literally talking about ChatGPT's image gen. Maybe what I can do, the first thing I can do based on this video is let's just go ahead and grab like a summary about the video. Maybe we could do is like, all right, perfect. So we'll just go ahead and let's just get a short summary so you guys can get an idea of what this video is about. If you saw what I just did before it starts generating, I went ahead here and I clicked add card. And what's great is we have an entire card library of content pieces that could be generated, right? And you'll see like this one that we just added got generated. And in here, you could search through, like, again, you could create marketing content, summaries, analysis, newsletters, blog posts, all that. And if you saw what I just did, I went ahead and I just typed summary. We have a couple different options and I just grabbed the main one, right? Summary. And so here it explains how it introduced a new advanced image generation and what it excels at. So it's just kind of talking a little bit about it. So that's great. But what we want to do is generate, let's say, for example, maybe we want to create like a YouTube cover, right? We love the topics that are discussed on this. We want to be able to create a YouTube thumbnail. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to type YouTube thumbnail. Okay. And what we're going to do is actually create an image prompt for a YouTube thumbnail based on the insights from the video so that we could go into ChatGPT and ask it to create an image based on this, right? And so let's see what this comes up with here in real time. It breaks out all the details that needs to go into generating a YouTube thumbnail. And what's great is it highlights what the video is about so that ChatGPT will have context. Look at this, right? The video highlights the unique and creative capabilities of the new image generation features. It showcases how a tool can create detailed, imaginative visuals such as peak male physique with exaggerated features, character consistency like skateboarding, and the ability to follow extremely specific prompts. And then it provides the design elements that it should go in, the background, text elements, everything. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this. All right. And go into ChatGPT. Be like, all right. Can you, or I'm going to say, please create a YouTube thumbnail based on this. That's all you got to do. And then you paste the entire prompt that was generated from Alphana. You see it puts in the style, the aspect ratio, the theme summary, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit send. Again, even with the free version of ChatGPT, you have access to this. Now, of course, I believe maybe, rate limits or stuff like that if you upgrade, but you could use a free version. You could copy and paste, put that prompt in here, and ChatGPT immediately gets to work to creating these images. Keep in mind, this is not the old image generator, okay? This is not DALL-E 3. This is a brand new image generation model that OpenAI had released. They put it into ChatGPT and they made it available to create just, again, beautifully stunning images in tons of different styles. So let's see how this comes out. A couple things to note, right? With ChatGPT's new image gen, it does take longer than what it used to in the past. Why? It's a better model. I think eventually they're going to get it more efficient. They'll make it faster. But for now, it does take a little bit of time. Not only that, but ChatGPT and OpenAI in general over the last couple days since they launched this, they've had a ton of outages. And so I imagine that once they're able to ramp up more GPUs and things get a little bit more stable, we shouldn't be running into those issues anymore. So now it's actually processing the image. And what's cool with this is that it actually shows you the images being generated in real time. Just because you see the colors in this first phase, it doesn't mean that's like the final. You're going to see that little by little, it starts to reveal itself to show you parts of the image on what it's generating. So I want to let that run so you guys could see it because I want you to be able to see this here in real time. So they say this new model is better than Midjourney. Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially because of how amazing the text generation and other aspects of it are. But yeah, I think a lot of people are finding it to be much better than Midjourney. And honestly, every image generation model has like their unique value props, right? And on how they do. But definitely ChatGPT did really well with this one. One thing that I'm thinking about is perhaps we could generate, let's duplicate this. Maybe we could run another one at the same time. Okay. So we'll just come here. I'll generate new. Let's go back into Alphana. So we've got one here that's going to generate for a YouTube thumbnail. Another one that might be a good one. Let's see, prompt. So let's say we wanted to do maybe an advertisement based on this. Let's see how we could promote this one. So if we've got the advertisement AI image prompt, that'll automatically generate. Yeah, look at this. Hold on, actually, look at that. All right. Describe the scene, the central focus, typography. All right. Supporting elements, target audience representation, call to action, lighting, mood. I mean, look at this. Very detailed. Now we've got an ad that we can generate for this. In this case, it's saying to create a vibrant and dynamic ad. So we are going to use this to generate another image while the YouTube thumbnail is being made. All right. Let's pull this up. Let's see how this is coming along. Yeah. So I'm glad I've got examples for you because again, OpenAI today has been really slow. I'm going to come in here and say, create an image. Please create an ad based on this. All right. Now, something else inside of ChatGPT, make sure up here, the model that you're selecting is GPT-4o. That's the one that you need in order to generate images, right? You can't use any of the other models that you see in OpenAI, and don't select the, DALL-E model or anything like that. It's got to be ChatGPT 4o. You'll put in the prompt that we generated with the description, and you're just going to say, please create an ad based on this. And that should start generating. Hopefully you understood what I meant. You see this as like using video thumbnails, using your photo with inputting text would be awesome. 100%. So you could do that, right? You could throw your photo in here and have it use that to create a YouTube thumbnail. And actually, I don't even have an example right now, but let's just say you found a YouTube thumbnail that looks amazing and the video went viral or did really popular. You could take that YouTube thumbnail, take a screenshot of it, upload it into ChatGPT, and then upload your image and tell it to create a YouTube thumbnail that resembles the style of that YouTube thumbnail, right? So you're kind of using a source reference image to create the new image that you have, or combine two images to create the one that you want. You could do that inside of ChatGPT. All right, so we're not going to have much luck creating it live. That's unfortunate. But I was able to show you guys a couple good examples. I'll let these run. Hopefully we'll see what they have. I have done a few with purchasing silver coins. They came out great. Beautiful. So you've done a couple images already. That's awesome. Yeah, I would love to see them. If you create some cool images and you use prompts inside of Alphana, I want you to send that over to us. Let's drop it into the community. We'd love to feature you. We could even feature you inside of our newsletter and credit back to you so people can see the kind of work that you're creating. But I'd love to see some of the prompts and the images that you're generating. I think that would be massive. And so again, we have these images, we'll let them run. But again, I think just based on some of these examples that I've shown you, you've got from ads to movie posters to Polaroids. And here you'll just see, again, more options that are just pulled directly from Twitter. These are all generated with the image generation model. Not only that, I think I could pull up one that I found that I created. Let me see, that I probably, let me pull it up. There was one that, okay, this one came up pretty cool. Let me pull this up. So I created this one. It's called The Founder Story. I actually used Alphana to generate, pulled a video that was from Canva's founder that extracted the motivational takeaways, core beliefs, and the hard lessons that were found in the video. And I'll show you. So if I scroll up, you'll see my chat. I actually pasted that directly from Alphana. And then I went back and forth asking it to generate images, and it created different variations. It created this one, which was using the old version, so I had to have it redo it. And then it created this one, right? And you'll see that in this version, it created it with all the copy, but I didn't want so much text. I realized after sending it, right? So I kind of refined it with ChatGPT. And well, I'll show you the transition. Then it generated this one, but you'll notice that it actually crops the image, right? So it's not perfect sometimes when you're trying to create like infographics or things with a lot of text with a layout, because now it's got to go strict into layout. So sometimes this can happen where it gets cropped. And so you just got to prompt it again saying it got cut off, please try again. And that's what happened here in this case. And it generated this one. I mean, something like this, you could literally create and use it as a giveaway, right? Just imagine that you grab this and you send it out as like a PDF giveaway. You could create multiple of these and do them as like lead gen things, right? Something like that could work really well. Okay, this one's finally starting to render. We got to show that on the screen. You love Alphana. Thanks for these live shows. Yo, thank you. I appreciate all of you who joined these live streams and for sending us feedback. I mean, every week we want to be able to teach you guys something new or new tricks that you can do with AI, Alphana, and just in general, right? Imagine a kaleidoscope depiction of a future marketplace. Oh, this is cool. Alphana made them and they were very nice and imaginative. That's amazing. So you probably can't read the whole thing, but this is a prompt that was made inside of Alphana. So right now, these aren't loading. So this is not typical, right? I mean, we were able to generate several images that I showed you. These are all generated based on prompts in Alphana. Most of the time it takes 1 to 2 minutes, and occasionally you get the 5 or 10, but that's only because they are ramping up servers, GPUs, because of the demand that they've got right now. But in Alphana, as I showed you, you could generate these prompts in seconds, right? So that's an advertisement. And if I come over here, I think we have another prompt in here that could be used like a blog post cover, right? And I'll just go ahead and drop blog post cover inside of here. And I mean, that's what makes Alphana so handy is these AI cards. It's one of my favorite features. I don't know if it's one of your favorites, but just the fact that I could just choose from a library of these content cards and just click on it and it automatically adds it to the project and starts generating the content. It's phenomenal, right? It's something that it just makes things so easy and to be able to customize these, whatever you're doing in content to your own workflows. And so here you go. Now you've got a nice prompt to create a blog post image, right? You've got that one. Now, if you're not familiar with Alphana or if you haven't played with this, I mean, inside of Alphana, we have an image generator, right? But OpenAI and ChatGPT hasn't released an API for their new image generator, which is why I'm showing you how you can do it there. The current version, if you select AI images like I just clicked on now, right? I'll let that generate. But again, if you click and you typed images, you'll see that we have a card to generate AI images. And sometimes you do get pretty good results. We have tons of people generating hundreds or thousands of images inside of Alphana based on their videos. And so what I encourage is use these in part of your templates. So if you want to just be able to generate images directly related to your video, you could come in here, drop the AI card, put it into your project, and now it'll generate for you several AI images without having to go into ChatGPT. And if the image options aren't the direction that you want to go for, and you can't edit it here and you want to go into ChatGPT, that's why we have these prompts that you can use to copy and paste and just make your life easier so you don't have to write and come up with what the prompt should be, right? You could just go directly into ChatGPT and paste it in there. But I mean, look how cool this is. Look at these images, right? This was generated automatically inside of Alphana. I mean, this is kind of cool and creepy, I guess, at the same time. I mean, just look at his neck. I don't know. What do you guys think of this image right here? Why did they come up with this? All right. So if you look at a surrealistic image of a bald young man of a Caucasian descent with a pear-shaped head, an exaggerated long neck, stooped posture, short legs, extended primate-like arms. I mean, that's kind of crazy. He's adorned in an ultra-modern gameplay headset and finds his perch on a pulsating, levitating gaming chair inside a room influenced by a cyberpunk theme saturated with neon lights and holographic screens. Wow. All right. Saying that, I mean, that's a prompt that, again, Alphana automatically generates the prompt and generates the image. Again, it's not the new ChatGPT image gen, but it does create really good quality images that sometimes could work. Here's another one, right? You got an awesome cartoon character. Look at that. Here's another one, Japanese woodblock print style illustration. And finally, an oil painting that showcases bold, distorted, and fragmented shapes. This is pretty cool because these are actually some of the image types that they talk about inside of the video. And so Alphana, what it did was it extracted those insights and what the person was talking about and generated its own version of those images, right? So that's how we're getting these results. By the way, if you like this image, but you want to make it even better or change the style, I'll give you guys another trick that you could do in ChatGPT, right? So you can actually now not only get these prompts, but you could copy these prompts because we give you the prompts for every image that's generated in Alphana and just open up ChatGPT and paste it in there, make a tweak if you want to tweak some of the styles of it and see how ChatGPT generates now this image. So you have that optionality. Would it be possible to update the UX so that we could access cards from the same left menu where we can access the templates? I was trying to find which cards to use outside actually creating a project, and I had to keep going to other places to do it. Yes, it's so crazy, but we just met with our product, like our engineering team. We were all having a great conversation about this yesterday and this morning about how we can make Alphana a little bit easier. And one of those things is actually adding a cards tab so you could see all the cards. So it is on our roadmap. It's something that we are already wiring out and trying to figure out the best way for it. We have a new update that we're almost done with. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be releasing it. So by the time that you watch this video, it should be live in Alphana, but we are revamping the create flow. And so you'll be able to see your cards and templates in a much bigger, it'll take up the full screen pretty much. And that'll be the best way to browse through a library of cards right now. And so that's going to be pretty cool because you'll all be able to get a full screen view of cards that you can create a project with or templates. That's something that we're almost done with. And I don't know, we haven't talked about it in our live, but last week, when you click on add card, before it only used to show like 4 cards at a time, right? And it was one column. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but we actually now made it double the size and we've added 2 columns. So it makes it so much easier to see all these cards. I mean, now you could actually browse through a little bit easier to kind of go through the cards and see. Not only that, but I'll teach you a quick trick. I know this isn't really part of the presentation, but in here, what I like to do is like if I'm creating content for a specific type, I just type it. So like, for example, LinkedIn. When you type LinkedIn, now I'm kind of filtering and just looking at my LinkedIn options. So if you guys haven't noticed this, I mean, these are so many different types of posts that you can use to generate content for LinkedIn. You've got so many different variations. The insight post, highlights, reality check. Same thing for like blog. Look at all the blog post types. Newsletter, right? You could type clip for like anything that's video clip related or YouTube. So just think about it. Anytime that you're trying to work on something specific, you could just search that keyword and now you could focus your time on anything related to the topic or to the type of content that you're trying to create. Look at that. Let's pull this up. Let's zoom in. Okay, this is pretty cool. Look at the level of detail. Let's read what's the prompt about so we can get some meaning, right? Let's read this a little bit out. All right, so imagine a kaleidoscope depiction of a future marketplace bustling, trading silver and gold. Visualize characters of varying ages and backgrounds, such as a wise elderly trader of South Asian descent a young entrepreneurial individual of Caucasian origin, and a group of excited investors comprising men and women of various descents. The grand backdrop of this energetic scene should show a treasure trove of shimmering silver coins and gleaming gold bars. Digital screens around the marketplace visualize the erratic, fluctuating market prices, merging the tangible with intangible economics. I mean, look at that. That is so cool. Look at this, right? Silver. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just check this out. I mean, look at the scene. You're inside. They're doing like trading. You got all the investors on the floor. Look at them. They're even screaming at each other. I can't really zoom into it right here, but some of them look pretty angry and just kind of going at it, right? So, yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Again, if you've got more images, please just start putting them in the community. I'd love to just see a nice gallery of content generated right here inside of the community. You could just go ahead and start a post and throw that in here. So thanks so much, Christopher, on that one. And yes, ChatGPT, look at that. The images are still going. We're at peak center right now. So yeah, so that's kind of where this is. I mean, the potential to be able to generate content now inside of Alphana and combining that with the power of ChatGPT, I think is going to go really long ways. These things have been going really viral. You could create infographics, images, ads, blog post headers, email newsletter headers. The combination of things that you could do is incredible. And so I really hope all of you take advantage of this. We published just a few of the prompts so far, but we'll start adding a few more that we have. We're just going to refine them a little bit more to make sure that we're getting good, consistent results and that you guys are really happy with it. And of course, all of you can make up your own. If you want to create your own prompt to come out of the video, please go ahead and edit them. Please go ahead and create your own cards by just coming in here and clicking create your own. You can generate whatever it is that you want for your prompt. And once you're done, save it as a template, right? I can't tell you how much this really automates so many people's workflows. It automates mine. You just take whatever project that you created with a bunch of different AI cards and save that as a template. Because once you save that as a template and you click create, it'll appear right here as a template that you can take advantage of. I guess that's a wrap. What I'll do is I'm going to let these images run. I don't know how long it's going to take, but just from what I'm seeing, it could take a lot. Yeah, it'll take a lot longer. And what I'll do is I'll drop it into the community once it's done generating so you guys could see what this prompt generated. I won't keep you here as these continue to make. And, I'd love to hear from you guys. Send over your feedback. And if you guys need anything at all, please reach out. And that's a wrap for this week's Insider Live. I'm Sebastian Mourra, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Alphana. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you next time.